Hi there guys, how you doing? Welcome back to the channel. Start of another week. Hope you've all had a good weekend. Hope you all managed to, get into the pubs, enjoy a drink, enjoy something to eat with your friends and family. I know I did, a bit of a heavy weekend, watching the football. I had a 9-team accumulator on this weekend and Spartak Moscow at home to a team I've never even heard of, lost 2-1. And that was the end of my bet. It cost me £297. That was lovely. So, yeah, I hope your weekend was better than mine. Anyway, today's the topic of today's video is going to all be about Manchester City. It's not going to be massively in depth, to be honest. Let me just correct that. Yeah, it's not going to be massively in depth. I just wanted to pass comment on it really because one of my friends on Twitter sent me a message today to say that they've actually lost 9 Premier League games this season. Now, make no mistake about it, Liverpool have been ridiculous. They've been so consistent. They've churned out wins when they've not played very well. They've just blown everyone away. They had it won by, let's be honest, December, January time, didn't they? When they pulled away from the pack, they went into double figures, points clear and stuff like that. But yeah, that Manchester City stat about them losing 9 games this season really, really surprised me, because if there's one thing that you can point at City, it's that Pep Guardiola, he's a legend in football management, but he churns out results. Usually he is relentless. I remember when he was at Barcelona and, they were in the second leg of a Spanish Cup third round. They were already 8-0 up from the first leg and he'd be playing Messi because they wanted to keep that forward momentum going. And, I thought this season, despite, obviously City falling off the pace, losing to Norwich at home. It was Norwich away, wasn't it, quite early on in the season and stuff like that. As Liverpool pulled away further and further, I thought, there is no way Pep would let the standards slip and he would let the performances slip. But, the last few results, they've been very, very disappointing. I say the last few results, sorry. I'm more referring to the game at Southampton last night. They lost 1-0. It was a great goal that they lost 1-0 to. But, yeah, those 9 games have really surprised me, and it just made me wonder, actually, what kind of shape are they in heading into next season? Because, regardless of whether this European ban is going to be upheld by the Court of Arbitration for Sport, this 2-year ban, a lot of people are saying it'll definitely be a 1-year ban, but it might not be a 2-year. It might just get reduced to the 1. And I know that players like Kevin De Bruyne has come out and basically said, look, 2 years, I might need to reconsider what I want to do for my career, but 1 year will be all right. So I think that quite a lot of the players have discussed this and have spoken about it. But like the wider picture, with these 9 Premier League defeats that they've had this season, are a lot of the players already, do they already have one eye on what might be happening next season, what might be happening in the summer in regards to European ban and stuff like that? And are they perhaps not as committed as they should be to the cause? Now, it's very, very difficult to stay motivated when your nearest Premier League rivals are 26, I think it's 20, is it 26 or 23 points ahead of you? Completely understand that because, performance levels will drop off regardless of who you've got in charge of you. Guardiola will make sure those levels are as high and as professional as they can be, but you're going to take your eye off the ball. But a lot of these defeats have been down to individual areas. They've been down to the squad not being as strong as maybe it could be in some areas. And that's where I think Pep needs to take a look at it this summer. There's 2 I'd say there's 3 very, very important kind of sticking points as to where City go this summer in regards to, how they can progress this squad and how they can progress the club to challenge Klopp's Liverpool. Because, despite that 4-0 defeat, half of the Liverpool team were pissed last week, weren't they? So we can't really read too much into it. It wasn't a great performance and, then performance levels by Klopp's boys after being champions were going to slip. I think that 1 defeat can be excused, but, you don't want to get battered. So I think as long as it was a one-off, it wasn't too bad. But, yeah, places which Guardiola should be looking is definitely at centre-half and at left-back, I think. The centre-half conundrum is a massive, massive problem for them. Now, I don't think Otamendi's good enough. He has 1 in 3 or 4 good games every now and then, but I don't think he can form a partnership with Aymeric Laporte to win him a Premier League. You have a look at Vincent Kompany, he would drag them through games. Even when they weren't playing well, they were under the cosh. You knew that Kompany would get them in line and would get them over the line, to win games, to draw games, just to not lose. with Otamendi there and with, the lack of centre-halves there, I've seen Fernandinho drop back and stuff like that. I don't think City are anywhere near good defensively to challenge for the Premier League title next season. There's been talk that, Eric Garcia, who's a young Spanish lad who come over from Barcelona when he was, a really young guy. He's the next in line to kind of slot into that back line. You heard, what was it? I think Guardiola was, waxing lyrical about him at the end of the game yesterday, saying that, he was captaining all of the youth teams in La Masia and stuff like that. And he's very intelligent, very, very promising defender. He might well be, but he's not the finished product. And right now they need a world-class centre-half to go in there and help Laporte out, because there's not much at the back there. Talk that Kalidou Koulibaly from Napoli is going to go in there. That's the kind of signing that they need right now. Go and spend the money to make sure that you've got the proven end product. With Koulibaly, he's strong, he's quick. He can read, he can tackle, he can head. He's absolutely fantastic. He's been one of the best centre-halves in the world for a very long time now. I think he's Senegalese, isn't he? But he is edging towards 30, if not 30 already. So this will be his last big payday. This will be his big move if City go in for him. And it's a kind of signing that I think Guardiola needs just to settle that back four down. You've got Cancelo and Walker on the right-hand side. And the other way, is the left-back, because I don't think, I know that Benjamin Mendy isn't good enough, he's got this online persona, and I don't think Guardiola's too keen about his online presence, and his personality at times around the dressing room isn't, not on the dressing room, but online isn't great. I think he, I don't think he represents himself in the club in the best way sometimes with some of the stuff he says and some of the stuff he does. So, there's talk that, another left-back will be coming in. Will it be Ben Chilwell from Leicester? It'll be an excellent appointment. It'll be an excellent signing if they do go and get Chilwell. I think he's a very, very promising left-back. And, he's been consistent for a couple of years under Brendan Rodgers now. He's left-footed, he's quick, he's got good stamina. He gets up and down that left-hand side for Leicester on the overlap. I think he'd fit in very, very well. And obviously he'd tick an English quota box for Man City as well. Leicester won't let him go for cheap, probably be 50, 60 million at least. I think he's got quite a few years left on his contract. He's a good age as well. But, these are the types of signings that they should be looking at, moving forward to make sure that Pep's got the strongest squad available to move forward next season and challenge Liverpool. The other big one as well is the replacement of David Silva in that midfield. Obviously, 4 games left of the season now? David Silva's already announced that he's going to leave at the end of his contract this summer. There's talk that he might go to Al Sadd in Qatar to join up with Xavi, who's over there. He used to play with him in the Spanish national team. But it'll be very interesting to see what they do in that middle of that midfield, because obviously they've got so many good players in there. They've got Gundogan, Bernardo Silva. They've now got Phil Foden, who's come in, and by all accounts, it does look like Phil Foden's recent performances, the goal he scored against Liverpool and stuff like that, now shows that he's on a level which means he's going to get quite a few games in the Premier League first team. So it'll be very interesting to see what happens there. I think Pep's called him one of the best young prospects he's ever worked with. When you consider some of the midfielders that he's worked with at Barcelona and Bayern Munich, that's some praise, isn't it? But it'll be very interesting to see if Pep goes out and he, gets a replacement for Silva. There is talk that Bayern Munich are willing to let Thiago go, and Pep absolutely loves Thiago. He called him one of the best midfielders in the world whilst he was at Bayern Munich and worked with him. He's right up his street in regards to, technicality and stuff like that. And there's Houssem Aouar as well, isn't there, that City have been linked with several times at Lyon, who Pep also likes as well. So I think they might bring in another central midfielder, not to directly replace David Silva, because I think he will give Foden a chance given the pressure put on him by A, the board, B, the England management setup, and C, the fans as well, because so many people want to see Foden in that team, moving into a continental competition year with Euro 2022, picking up soon. But let me know what you think as to how Man City move forward, because by no means is it doom and gloom, but those 9 Premier League defeats should be raising more questions than they are at the moment. It'll be very interesting to see with the European ban what kind of moves they make in the transfer window, what Pep decides to do with his team. And yeah, I think it is a massive summer, and it is a summer in which big decisions have to be made, because if they don't get this right, Klopp and Liverpool could be running away with it for a few years, given how dominant they were this season and how well set up they look to be. So, yeah, let me know what your thoughts are. I hope you enjoyed this video about, how I'm talking about Premier League and Man City and English football and stuff like that. So, yeah, obviously let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Subscribe to the channel if you enjoy the content. Follow me on my social medias. My Instagram is East Terrace Football, all one word. And my Twitter is @EastTerrace0. So get following me on there. I've regular daily content. I love interacting with people on there. I seem to get good numbers, which is really great on my Instagram. So yeah, get following me on there. Get talking to me on here. And I hope you have a really good working week. And I'll talk to you soon, guys. All right. Take care. Cheers. See you later.